welcome to my brand new vlog, ADHD and me. Firstly, let me apologise for addressing you whilst in the bath, especially on my first episode when you don't really know me at all and wouldn't know this is actually very normal for me. I'm mainly doing this in the bath because I was supposed to record this episode at around 3 p.m. today, and it's now currently 2 a.m. the following morning, and I've only just got round to it because my timings are, quite frankly, shit. But that's something else that we're going to talk about. My name's Evan, although I've spent most of my life being called, is he the one that's got that ADHD thing? And right now my life is about as stable as a travelling fairgrounds rusty buckaroo ride. And since it seems to just be the normal pattern for myself and many other people that I already know who suffer ADHD, I wanted to create a blog speaking about it. I thought that maybe, just maybe, by sharing my personal experiences and trying to explain how my brain is so completely confusingly different to yours, then there would be a little less stigma around the ADHD concept. And it would show other kids and, of course, adults that we're all just still people with extra special brains. I also hope that by explaining certain aspects of what is going on inside my head and my brain during a seemingly normal scenario, I can help others who are always around people who have ADHD understand what is going on and why, because it can be quite challenging to understand. So let's dive straight in. So what is ADHD? Now, ADHD is not naughty boy syndrome like it was labelled when I was a kid. ADHD is actually a chemical imbalance inside the brain. There's other different disorders and diseases that cause this, but ADHD is probably one of the most common ones. So what is a chemical imbalance? A chemical imbalance happens when the brain has either too many or too few neurotransmitters. These neurotransmitters are natural chemicals that help the nerve cells to communicate with each other. Sounds confusing, right? Well, the neurons that you can see here pass on messages or signals of information within the brain. This allows the brain to communicate with parts of the body to produce certain things. And the thing most affected by ADHD is the effect it has on experiencing feelings and thoughts. So to carry these signals between neurons, you have chemicals, or like I said earlier, neurotransmitters. So when you have too many or too few of these chemicals, the signals don't carry through the brain as quickly, or in some cases, too quickly. So, what are the main causes of ADHD? Now, currently, we know of 3 contributing factors. Of course, we've just spoken about the neuro things that go on inside your head, the chemical imbalance, which is number 1. And then number 2 is actually, believe it or not, the environment. There's been children who have shown signs and symptoms of ADHD who have been exposed to things like lead in their environment while growing up, which is just crazy. Just to think that whatever is around you growing up could potentially cause some sort of weird chemical boom inside your head. Wow. And then number 3 is prenatal stuff. So things like if your mother was to abuse alcohol when you was a child. I mean, not that I'm passing the blame or anything, but certain things here do sound rather familiar. So from my experience, what are the main causes? What are the main symptoms of ADHD and how do we deal with them? Everybody deals with them completely differently. So what are they and what do we do? So symptoms of ADHD in adults include difficulty dealing with stress, mood swings, irritability, having a really bad temper. Forgetfulness is a very common one, and losing things often. I'm forever losing all sorts of things. Difficulty staying quiet in situations that you know you should definitely stay quiet. Interrupting others very inappropriately and all the time, and restlessness, staying awake for days and nights on end. Difficulty focusing, that's a very, very common one. And difficulty in prioritising what tasks should come first.
It's all very well and good talking about symptoms, but that doesn't really say how it affects certain people in real life situations, right? Fast forward a couple of weeks after going a little bit off the rails because of a boy. I'm back in a normal head state. I'm feeling quite good and positive, so I thought let's carry on with this blog. Let's still get this done. So I wondered how I wanted to attack this and how I wanted to approach it. And I just couldn't really get it out there. It's all kind of one big blur. So then I thought, I know, we've covered all the science crap now. Nobody actually likes science, not even science teachers. So I thought, here's what we'll do. We'll cover a different topic each episode. We'll make the episodes really short, and then we'll just get it all out there, and everybody will understand everything, and everything will be absolutely perfect. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So let's roll straight into my first topic, which is going to be the very, very obvious one, the one that affects most people with ADHD. As I'm sure many of you with ADHD watching will completely understand this topic. It's one that really affects my life in many, many ways, and is always very difficult and hard to explain to people, and it is, of course, the impulsive thinking. The voiceovers for my blog. Impulsive thinking. Impulsive. Impulsive. I can't get the Rachel Adhd. Rachel Adhd. There we go. Impulsive. Impulsive thinking.
So impulsive thinking is really difficult to describe to somebody who doesn't experience it. Because for me, impulsive thinking is probably one of the biggest telltale signs of ADHD, and for most other people that suffer with it as well. Now, impulsive thinking is probably the worst symptom also that we have to deal with. I can certainly say, and won't mind holding my hands up and admitting, that impulsive thinking has fucked up my life on more than one occasion, but it's also been responsible for some of the amazing and good things that have happened to me as well. However, it's still really hard to deal with. And it's also really hard to be around somebody who suffers with ADHD, who is an impulsive thinker. And I get that. I do get that. What I don't get is why people find it so hard to understand what we're trying to establish.